Hey guys, I'm Sonia.
And I'm Jody.
Welcome to episode 2 of Shop Talk, where we talk all things hair, wellness, and business.
And today our special guest is Lisa Dinh from Lisa Dinh Hair Studio. She is an amazing salon owner and educator. So welcome, Lisa.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for joining.
I'm excited to be chatting with you today.
Definitely. I mean, I definitely think the hair community and everyone getting together during this time is super important. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially I find in Toronto, because we're all in our own salons and we're always working. It's so hard to connect with people in like your direct community. Like, I mean, on my days off, I could come visit you, but I'm usually doing some other stuff for the business. So it's so nice that we can come together during this time and just have a real talk chat.
Definitely. And I felt like everyone during this time, like all the hairstylists have pretty much like come together to support each other. And like you said, we never have this time. So it's nice that everyone's kind of coming together and helping each other.
Absolutely. So let's get started. We really wanted to kind of touch on your journey and how you kind of got into the hair industry and what you love about it.
Definitely. So kind of how I started was I went to Aveda in Toronto, and at that time, you know, I was fairly young. I was only 18 at the time. So by the time I graduated, I was 19. So I was already searching for where I want to go, what salon I want to work in. And I felt like I was on such a long journey. I'm sure you guys have felt the same, but like coming out of hair school, you just kind of want to find a salon that like mentors you, and you want to find like not only a mentor, but a team and a salon atmosphere that will help you grow. And I felt like I was on that search for like so many years, and I was never able to find that salon. So it got to a point where I finally decided just to freelance after I worked at the last salon I worked at as an assistant. And I just decided to kind of go on my own path. I wanted to see how it was like to freelance, and honestly just be able to invest in taking classes on my own. And I felt like from there that led me to opening a business, because since I couldn't find a salon where I could reach my full potential, I decided to create it. And that's kind of the story of how we opened the salon. Was I couldn't find what so many stylists coming out of school, or even stylists that have been in the industry for so long, are looking for, that I decided to create that, you know, that salon and that space.
That's amazing, because I think that it's so common in our industry that, especially I think our era of being a hairstylist, like the people who own the salon at that time, 10 years ago, they weren't in this whole, you know, team atmosphere, collaboration, mentoring. It was kind of like you went in and you worked, and whatever happened amongst yourselves happened. And, you know, it was hard to find somewhere that you really felt comfortable, like a team, like a family member.
Yeah, it was so different. I mean, like, I'm sure you guys know, it's like when you used to go in salons, it's like, even there was no social media even back then. So you couldn't even find what styles you want to work with. So I felt like 10 years ago, hairstyling versus what we have now is so different. So different.
So different. It's so different. Like you're right. There was no social media. I remember the first time I moved salons, I was so nervous. I was like, I'm going to lose all my clients. And there was no Facebook, no Instagram.
Yeah.
You literally had to get out there, hand out your cards, go meet people, try to find people. And like, I was scared to like get client information, because my boss was like really protective of the information for obvious reasons. But I think we're in a different era now where we can connect with people socially and be like, I want to learn from this person. I like the way that their salon is. And I think it's an incredible new wave of hair salon ownership.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many platforms now that hairstylists can use to promote and market themselves. And like you said, back in the day, it's like when you're changing salons, that owner won't give out any client information. So you're stuck building an entire new clientele. But now, luckily, everyone could promote themselves, and, you know, clients are able to find that specific stylist now, thanks to like social media platforms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I always say there's enough hair to go around for everybody.
There's enough hair for everyone.
Yeah, and I find now too that when people are very niche and you focus on the things that you love, I think like you can put that energy towards that.
Yeah.
So you are no longer behind the chair, is that correct?
That's correct. So now I'm just more so managing the, you know, day-to-day business end. Thanks, guys.
Tell us a little bit about that. I know that a lot of us, as salon owners, I mean, Jody and I talk about it all the time about wanting to like leave behind our chair. We've had our business for almost like 8 years now. And it took us some time to transition slowly from behind the chair because, you know, you're like, I want to do hair, but I got to run the business. Can you give us a little bit of background about like how you came to that decision? What was the turning point? And like, how do you feel now that you are fully running your business?
Yeah. So definitely like you guys in the beginning, it was difficult because it's like, how do you go from being on the creative end to all of a sudden running the day-to-day operations business end? So for me, I guess the turning point was, you know, having this business for 5 years now, I'm the only person that kind of manages everything and I didn't have that help. So when it came down to being behind the chair, I felt like, you know, the day-to-day, it was getting way too overwhelming. And I know a lot of stylists, you know, have a business where, you know, they are behind a chair, but when you have a team that depends on you and you have clients that are also depending on you, I found that there was just so much going on that one would suffer over the other. So it got to a point when I was behind the chair, you know, and if it was my team that needed me or a client or something was going on, I felt like I couldn't give that client 100% of my time. And I felt guilty for that. And then when I did go to the business end side of things, I felt guilty again, not being behind the chair. So I think like that defining moment for me when I realized I can't, you know, do both. I can't be behind the chair and running a business. I think it got to a point as my team started to grow, I realized I can't be everything, you know, and spreading myself so thin. Like I have to focus on one area. So it really came down to what is more important. Is it the creative aspect and like being behind the chair, or is it me continue to build and grow this business that I kind of started and it's continuing to grow? So I decided to grow the business. Like for me, it was the creative aspect was, it will always be there. If I ever decided I want to stop, you know, running the business, and I can always go back to the creative. But I felt like at this point in kind of my career, I needed to step away from the chair in order to grow the business. So it was definitely a tough transition, and stylists ask me all the time, how do you feel about it? And in the beginning it was definitely rough, guys. I felt like there were times when I sneaked and went behind the chair and did some hair, because that's our nature. That's what we're used to. And then it got to a point where I started getting more comfortable making business decisions on my own and learning from my mistakes making business, that I started becoming more confident in the business aspect of it. So that transition took me about 2 years, you guys. So it wasn't a smooth transition. It was a lot of me trying to figure out, okay, what is important to not only myself, but what's important to this business. And even though hair is my passion, I need the business end in order to operate the salon. So the transition was about, I would say, 1.5 to 2 years, but now I'm in a place where I'm really happy just managing the business. I feel like when it comes to hair, I can always go back and have that creative side, but I enjoy now just managing the business.
Yeah, well, we commend the crap out of you, because I don't know how you do it by yourself. Like, we're so lucky that we have each other. Plus we have a third head helping us out at the salon, and it's still crazy. So
thanks, guys.
Yeah, hats off to you. It's a lot of work. How did your clients feel when you were like, "Hey, I'm not going to be doing your hair anymore"? Were they really open to seeing your team, or were they not?
Honestly, at first it was a little bit of a transition where, you know, they were like, oh my gosh, like, what are we going to do? And I was like, I have this whole team that's amazing. So it got to a point where they just had to slowly trust the team. And I started moving all my girls to all the stylists. And once they were comfortable, it was fine after. But the first, I felt like the first, you know, time I kind of announced it, a lot of clients were freaking out. They're like, what am I supposed to do? But definitely now I feel like they're all comfortable. We have such amazing, you know, stylists on our team. So
yeah, no, and you guys, like, you have this wicked culture. You have this vibe. Culture is so important to us as salon owners. We kind of restarted our whole business and based it around the culture that we wanted. And that's how we started hiring and firing our staff. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us a little bit about the vibe at Lisa Dinh Hair Studio and about your team and what you love the most about it?
Definitely. So I feel like culture is such a huge part of, like, you know, our salon. Like, culture is not only just the team, but culture is the environment that we're bringing these clients into. So we're big on culture here for our salon, and I know for you guys too. We care so much about our team, like they're family to us. So for us, culture has always been family. So when it comes to that, it's like the team, it's not every stylist for themselves. We're a team. We all help each other behind the chair. If someone's running behind, we all kind of like will play our part and help each other. So I feel like just like building that culture over time was something that when I hired each stylist, I made sure that they knew what our morals were. They knew what kind of like walking into the salon, what to expect. And it was almost like they knew coming into this that it would be a team environment, that we would be a family, and that culture is so important to our salon. So we've been really fortunate where we had so many stylists, you know, be able to like work in a salon or even shadow us, and everyone's been so great because like they understand it's like a family team environment.
Yeah. Can you share with us some of your values and what you like, your morals that you guys stand for?
Yeah, I mean, our values and our morals are more so the idea of, you know, we're a team. Again, I've always like really instilled in all of our stylists that we're not here renting chairs. As a team, we're here together to pick each other up. So kind of our morals and our values kind of just stem from understanding that, you know, everyone needs to be a team player. Also, even the way I lead as a leader, I lead with empathy, and I try to teach them that too. So I think part of the morals and I guess like the vision we have in the salon is like to lead with empathy and to lead with love. I've realized with the team, it's like leading them with love and empathy has grown our culture, and it's grown them to not only trusting me, but trusting each other. So I think trust is a huge thing. Team, being a family, loyalty, everyone on the team has been so loyal. It's not even a sense of just loyal to our clients, but loyal to each other. We're all very, you know, open. Everyone here is very trusting. And I'm happy that they're able to even trust me and be open with me in all aspects. Yeah.
I love that. Lead with love. That's so
Yeah.
sweet. I love it.
Lead with love.
Yeah, that's what kind of binds everything together, you know, at the base and the core of it, it's all love. Because if you don't have love for the things that you're doing, then everything kind of just like dwindles and falls apart. So I love that the core of it is love. That's a sweet message.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing that.
Okay.
Give us a little bit of an insight on maybe a couple things that were lessons to you that you've learned as a salon owner, and something that's attributed to your success that you think would be a good message for other salon owners.
Definitely. I've had so many learning lessons and curves along the way, because I think being a salon owner, I'm sure like every day we're faced with a new challenge. So there have been so many experiences that I said like that if I could do it over again, there would be so many examples I can give, you know, upcoming salon owners or stylists. But I think a big part of it is definitely making sure you're protected, and protected in a way where, you know, contracts are set in place, and making sure that whoever you work with, if it's accountants or someone renovating the place, or if it's even new people coming on our team, like making sure that we're protected as salon owners, and also making sure we protect our team as stylists working for us. So I think what's helped me, I guess, like take this business to the next level and be able to kind of like learn through those experiences has been everything that has kind of set us back, and has been something that kind of, it was a learning experience. So I think like taking away from that, now I tell everyone, just make sure you're protected. Make sure you guys know like anything when it comes to contracts, like signing leases, hiring new employees, all of that's set in place. And I know you guys, when you guys had, you know, evolved your salon and you guys were adding new procedures and systems in place, like I think that's so valuable, because that's just creating a whole new culture, and that's creating new like boundaries to set what the environment's going to be like. So I feel like that's key, is like constantly evolving and staying relevant and updating procedures and just like continuing that. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I like that, protect, because like those things, when you're a young business owner, a young salon owner, you kind of forgo those things. You're like, yeah, everything will work out, it'll be fine. But like, no, you got to know your shit and like get your ducks in an order. And like, if you're a salon owner that you're out there and you're young, or even if you're not and you're a beginning salon owner, set yourself up for success in the beginning. I love that message. Protect yourself.
Yeah, protect yourself. And it really is setting yourself up to win, right? And I feel like a lot of owners, we don't know that. We're so trusting, and it gets to the point where, like, at the end of the day, we just need to protect our business, our salons.
I think it's just because we want to be friends with everybody, right? We just want everything to work out great. And like, we have this grand vision where like everything is like utopia, everything's perfect, hair's perfect, the salon's perfect. But like behind the scenes is where like the guts of the business is. And it's like, it's messy, you know, and there's a lot of shit behind there that can go wrong. And if you don't have your right things in order, and it's happened to us too, where I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. And we need to fix this ASAP. Like, how are we going to get out of this? We're not going to die, but like, we need to get it in order.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts to a business that no one sees. And all those moving parts are so important, but no one sees that. So, yeah.
I was going to say too, like, if you are somebody who's looking to open up your own salon, I would say like, find a mentor.
Yeah, that's huge.
I wish that we would have done that. Like, find somebody who you respect as a leader, as a salon owner, and reach out to them. Like, everybody now is so open and willing to share and give help where needed. So I would say, like, pick somebody who you really, really, truly admire and ask them for help. Ask them how they did certain things or what their successes were, because it's scary, and there is a lot of things that you do not plan for or even think that will be necessary.
Yeah, exactly. But like you said, like, that's huge, Jody. Like, I feel like if we all had mentors in the beginning, it would definitely help kind of like shape, you know, our salon, even though we've got through all those experiences. But it just like having someone there that's been through it and has experience and kind of help guides you through that.
Yeah, I think it's really important.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about some serious stuff. Now let's share something funny. Can you give us a little funny story that's happened in your salon or from your salon? Let's have a little laugh.
I mean, we've had so many funny stories in our salon, but the one that sticks out the most is, so one Saturday we were really, really busy, and you guys know Saturday, just all the sinks are taken, all the chairs are taken. So this was in the very beginning of the salon when we first opened. I remember we had, you know, all the girls at the sink, and one of our stylists, Jessica, she came up to me and she was like, Lisa, what color was Sam's client supposed to be? And I told her, blonde. Why, Jessica? She looked at me and she said, well, she's purple now. So right away, I knew what happened. We were so busy that Jessica actually put a purple toner on the wrong client. So right away, I had to go up to that stylist and let her know that her client is now purple. And we were lucky enough where we knew how to strip the purple and retone that client back to blonde so she wouldn't even notice. But at the time, it was like scary. But looking back at it now, we bring it up all the time because it's something that's funny now. But at the time, we were panicking because that client had no idea. But the stylists were both like, you know, one stylist was like, what do you mean she's purple? And Jessica was freaking out. So I'm glad we got through that Saturday. But I think that story stays with us forever.
Yeah. Oh, I can relate to that 100%. In Kevin Murphy, there's a soft violet and a pink violet. They're in a rush.
Yeah.
Look the same. And same type of a thing. One of my girls mixed it up and came to me and was like, I thought we were doing like more of a like beigey blonde, and this is coming out quite vibrant, like almost like a purple pink. And I was like, okay. I actually went over and ended up selling her on having a rose gold pastel pink.
Oh my gosh. But you were able to sell her on it.
I sold it and she kept it. She kept it for probably 3 visits. I was
That's
like,
so funny. See, some works out.
But I commend you guys for the color because I sweat. Okay, when I see the things that they do upstairs, I'm like, I would just burn somebody's hair off. Like, how do you just put that much lightener on somebody's hair?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a scary moment, but I feel like once you get through and you're able, like how Jody was able to convince her the rose gold is great, it's almost like you just feel like you swerved or dodged a bullet.
Oh yeah. But like things like that, things happen so quickly in the salon, especially on a Saturday or on a day, that like things are in motion. Like you're just like, oh my God, what's going on right now?
Yeah, I tell our team all the time, it's like working in like a tornado. Everything's just going all at once. So that's
onto something.
yeah, so we're able to work through the tornado and like just make it happen. So
yeah, but I always find too at the end of those days, like all the clients leave, you know, you sit down, you flop down on your chair, and you're able to look at each other and be like, we just killed that day, you know, like we just like slammed it. And
I think that's probably one of the best feelings.
Yeah, to just like come together at the end of the day and be like, I'm exhausted, but it was such a smooth day, high energy, like.
Yeah, we're surviving Saturdays.
Yeah. Surviving Saturdays.
Yeah, with the wrong toners.
That could be a whole show, surviving Saturdays in the hair salon.
Yeah.
A salon like environment is like nothing else. Like I've never seen anything like it. Like a lot of our clients are always like, man, you guys are having a lot of fun. I'm like, yeah, we have to have a lot of fun when you are talking to person after person after person after person and working with somebody so closely in a creative environment. I mean, if you're not having fun, you should not be doing it. I always say if you don't love hair, don't get into it. I've always had people ask me, I want to get into hairdressing. I'm like, you have to love it.
Love the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise you will not survive.
No, and that's the thing is like we have clients all the time. It's like, it looks like you guys are having so much fun. And sometimes I feel like stylists, we're so busy that we're still, like you said, Sonia, like we're still able to make it fun because then work just without it being a passion, it's just going to become, it's a lot of work, especially in our busy days. It's so much work. So I feel like when clients are like, it looks so much fun, it's because that's the environment and culture we created.
Absolutely. And it masks the nuts, like the craziness that's going around, right? Like
exactly.
You know, people might be having to wait 5-10 minutes, you know, in between their, like say they're coming from a color to a cut and they have to sit there with a mask on or something. It helps alleviate some of that tension when the vibe is nice and the music's good. And, you know, like people don't mind being in a chaotic environment when there's like good vibrations going on.
Exactly. So usually every Saturdays we pop popcorn.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, every Saturdays you'll see me like going to every client and everyone be like, you know, making popcorn. And that's just like on Saturdays it's so busy, but we want to keep it fun and we want to keep it like still, you know, them still have an experience. So we pop popcorn.
I love that. I love popcorn. One of my favorite snacks. I'll eat it all the time.
Yeah, our clients love it too. So
I love that. You have a popcorn machine?
No, we don't. So we don't have a popcorn machine. I just pop it in the microwave.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Aroma flowing through the salon.
Yeah. Watching some Netflix, getting your color correction, popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. They love it. So
sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we're going to kind of wrap up our little session here with you, Lisa, today. And one of our favorite things that we do on our podcast is tell us your real tea. So give us your real tea. It can be a truth, a point, a message that you want to send to the hair community.
Definitely. So I think the truth that, you know, I feel like I would send out to the hair community is same thing kind of what Sonia was saying. If you really want to get into hair, make sure you have the love and the passion. Because behind the love and the passion is hard work, it's sacrifice, it's determination, and it's like, it's so much more than what people see. So I have all the time, you know, people coming up to me, they're like, Lisa, like, I want to get into hair. Or, Lisa, I want to open a salon. And I always tell them, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because, you know, they see us making money and they see us having fun, but what they really don't see is the hard work, the labor, the bills, the managing a business. So I think like my realty is if you really want to get into this, ask yourself why and ask what you're willing to sacrifice. And I think when I ask people that, they look at me, they're like, what do you mean? And I will tell them, what are you willing to sacrifice to do it? Because that's what it comes with. So I think opening a business for all of us, we had to sacrifice something. If it's time with our loved ones, if it's time away from like kids, if it's time away from, you know, having time for ourselves in our own lives, I think that's such a big part of it. So I think like for me, letting the community know if they truly want to open a salon, make sure that it's because it's coming from a place of love or passion, because that's what's going to get you to continue moving forward. And without it, I just feel like you won't last long in this industry. So that would be my advice, and something that I would share with the community is make sure that you have the passion and the love, and that's what's going to keep you going in this industry. Yeah.
Awesome. I love that message. It's true though. Like if you don't have it, you won't work the long hours, and you won't sacrifice all the fun stuff that you could have done. I remember so many days that I was like, oh, I could go out to this party, or I got to work tomorrow. Or I could do this, or I got to work tomorrow. I got a business to run. I got people depending on me.
Exactly.
And clients too, even if you're not a business owner, even as a stylist, like you have people depending on you the next day. And like, I always say we don't have some of the luxuries that some of the other people do in other businesses where they can just call in sick. You know, it's like when you call in sick, you're screwing up 10 people the next day that had plans to come see you. So it's true, if you don't have the passion for it, you're not going to last.
Yeah. Like we're lucky if we even have a weekend off.
So true.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
so true. Even during this time.
Very fulfilling job. And it's great to mentor and lead and, you know, foster these new amazing young hairstylists.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of ups and downs.
A lot of ups and downs. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, that wraps up our episode number 2. Thank you so much, Lisa, for sharing your story and your insights and your funny story. That was amazing. Be sure to tune in to our next episode. You'll have to tune in to see who our guest is.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Bye.
Bye.